Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Popcorn Dialogues podcast with your hosts Nam
and Rosh.
And this episode we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four film.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four First Steps, which came out
on, well, for us, July 24th.
True. We are in Australia.
Yes.
And the rest of the world, it came out
July 25th.
25th.
So, like, the next day.
We got it before everybody
One day
else.
before, which never happens.
Well, a couple of times we get a few movies beforehand.
Usually,
so that's always...
It's usually like the big blockbusters.
Yeah,
you get,
which
like,
is
the
a
day
good
before.
thing. Which is a good thing. So yeah, so this we are going to be talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. It is the much anticipated Fantastic Four First Steps, and we are both sitting here with our Sue and Reed mugs. Cups of drink.
Yeah.
Which we got at the cinemas.
At the movies.
At the movies. There, I had my
She
sip
says
as well.
She takes a sip.
I took a sip.
What are you taking a sip of?
Diet Coke.
Okay, well, I just have water.
Yeah. I came prepared.
Mine's in the Reed cup, so it should be boring.
Fair enough.
No, and that is not my opinion. I love Reed.
Mine is in the Sue cup, so it's a crispy Diet Coke.
Yeah.
It's a sassy Diet Coke.
Please don't take that as my opinion on Reed. I love me some Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, so a little bit of a quick intro about who we are and what this podcast is.
Yes.
We are, as we just said, I'm Nam.
And I'm Rosh.
And we love movies.
Yes.
We generally talk about movies on our couch. We are two sisters who live together. So we're the definition of old maids.
Are we?
I mean, I guess.
That's not very nice.
We're not that boring and we're not that old.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we like what talking about movies on our couch. So we thought we're just going to do this as a podcast.
Yes. And I mean, we just should say we have had a podcast in the past.
So this is not the first time.
This is not the first. But we just want to do things a little bit differently this time. And here we are.
So we're just going to jump straight into this. Let's not waste any time.
Let's not waste any time.
I think, me being a historian,
we're
going to do a little bit of a history lesson with the Fantastic Four.
Well, before that, let's just put it out there. The spoiler warning starts now.
Yes.
We will be talking full spoilers for the movie. We're probably talking spoilers for the comics because anything related to the Fantastic Four will probably come up in this podcast.
Yes.
So if you have not seen the movie and you don't even really want any comic spoilers, then join us at a later time after you've seen the movie.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Yes, let us begin.
So history of the Fantastic Four. When was the first comic book?
I can't remember the date, but it was 1961.
1961, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the month.
Yeah.
But 1961, the first issue came out.
And it's Jack Kirby, isn't it?
Well, Jack Kirby was the artist, and it's Stanley obviously writing.
Yep.
And it pretty much came out as a way. The Fantastic Four was Marvel's first family, and they basically were designed to save Marvel Comics because they were down in the dumps and not making any money. And Jack and Stan were basically like, what if we did something differently? And we had a family that was perfectly normal. And, they were adventurers and explorers and astronauts first. And what would happen if they went up to space and came back with powers? And that's basically how the Fantastic Four was born.
And it's honestly bit of background with Fantastic Four. So we have had it's been an interesting little history. Obviously that's the history of when Fantastic Four sort of started.
Yeah.
But the characters have had, these ups and downs where even in the comic books there have been runs where they haven't really been received very, very well by a lot of people. Sue traditionally was this bit of a doormat, and she was the damsel in distress, she was essentially a tool to be rescued all the time.
Yeah.
But she's evolved obviously, and we've had the evolution of some of the characters.
Did start to evolve even in the earlier iterations quite a bit. Like, her big thing from becoming Invisible Girl to becoming Invisible Woman is the fact that in the middle she gets kidnapped by Psycho Man and she becomes Malice, quote unquote.
Yes.
She goes through this awful thing, and then after she comes out of that, she renames herself the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Because this horrible thing happened to her and she's matured because of it. And
she's become a woman.
She's become a woman.
She's not a girl anymore.
She's not a girl. So she did change quite a bit even earlier on, but, some things still go back and forth and all that. And then I don't think it was until maybe the Jonathan Hickman run where she really got some agency. Now that run is problematic for several reasons. Because of Reed.
But there's quite a bit of and legitimate criticism, I think, with the Reed character. During that time.
But in that she becomes the leader of like the Future Foundation and like all this stuff, and she gets some agency basically.
Yeah. Which is I think the iteration that we see in this film, in the newest film that's come out this year.
It is majority Jack Kirby.
Yes.
And Stan Lee, like in the art design and everything. But in terms of the way they've handled Sue, it's pretty much like the later runs that they've taken.
And I think it's fair to talk about, like how we were introduced with Fantastic Four. I would have to say I was introduced to Fantastic Four through you.
Yes.
Because you are 8 years my junior.
Yeah.
And you used to watch Fantastic Four on Cartoon Network.
Yes.
Was it Cartoon Network?
Yes, it was Cartoon Network because it was the 1967 animated series that they used to replay.
It was all like...
reruns, because it was the Association of Marvel Comics with Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So it was literally 1967 was like one season, and then it came back in like 78 for another season or something like that. It was quite a bit of a gap, and that is what they used to replay when I was a kid. And then that led me to like the 90s version a little later on. And then I got into the comics. A bit after that. So
I haven't really read a lot of the comics. I have read a few. I have read some of the Hickman ones. Just random stories. And I think my predominant one was the reruns of the cartoon show. So I loved those, and they were so much fun. I remember sitting and watching them with you as you would watch them. I love the music. It's so good.
It was so good.
It was so 60s. Like it was just so quintessential 60s. It was great. So anyway, but I think what predominantly when it comes to the history of Fantastic Four, I think especially when we're talking about it now, I think it's important to talk about the history of the productions, essentially. The films that were made, and not as, some came out. Obviously,
and
some didn't come out.
Like the 1994 one?
Exactly, one that didn't even come out.
Apparently, and I suppose we'll get into like the press junket and all that stuff later to do with this movie, First Steps. But there was one interviewer who was like, "Oh yeah, I have a VHS of the 1994 one," and Vanessa Kirby was like, "You have to give it to us."
How?
He must have recorded it when it like I don't know, maybe he got it from someone or whatever before like the copies were destroyed or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
but
that's interesting.
I don't know. He didn't.
He would make so much money.
He did not elaborate. But he did.
He would make so much money.
Oh, he would make so much money.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I know. And there's like clips and things that have been found over time because obviously they need it for like the promotion and all that stuff. But like no one has seen the full thing apart from this guy apparently. So
that would be interesting to watch. But anyway, so we've got that one that didn't come out, but I think the main ones that we're gonna refer to throughout, we're not gonna in detail discuss those, but we will talk about them, are the two that came out in the 2000s, starring Ewan Grufford, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and
Michael Chiklis.
Because those are the ones that really a lot of people were introduced to.
Yes.
Those were, I think, like the first time we see them in live action. Like apart from, the ones that have been attempted before.
Released. Yes, yeah.
That have been released on like such a large scale. So I think it's fair to talk about those and how not great they were. There are people, like I remember when I watched those, I didn't like The first one wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Second one was not that great. Even though I love the Silver Surfer stories. I do love the Silver Surfer stories and the whole Galactus thing. I love Galactus. But again, like, it falls so flat. The Galactus, everyone laughs. And it's like a big giant fart cloud.
Yeah.
So that kind of ruins it, you know? But I think predominantly the characters in those are so flawed. And I, being a massive Chris Evans girly.
Yeah.
And, like, I was a Chris Evans fan before Fantastic Four came out. I was a fan of Chris Evans from Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man, that's a bad movie.
That's a bad movie.
But, you know, like, that was, like, the big intro to Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I remember. And then he came in Fantastic Four. Oh, my God. I loved him. Even I was, like, a bit,
it's
not that
not
great.
Completely like Johnny, yeah.
But we rewatched them just before
this movie.
Well, we went and watched the movie on the Thursday, and then we watched these on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I will say, I remember complaining a lot about Chris Evans as Johnny. I will say, to be very fair, he was probably the best part about both those films.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like both of those. Him and I would say even Michael Chiklis as Ben was fine
to some extent. Yeah.
Yeah. Jessica Alba was not good. I'm sorry. And this comes from someone who actually likes Jessica Alba.
Yeah, she's not bad. But yeah, she's not. That's not Sue Storm.
No, that's not Sue Storm.
That's just not her. Even to the point of like, there's just like things about her that don't even line up with early iterations of the comic.
Yeah, she was just not.
She was just not. She was just like this person, and they just named her Sue
exactly.
Storm. Like that's what it felt like. And
Ian
Grafford was like,
he was okay.
He was okay. I think he was a little bit better in the second one.
Yes,
I feel like in the first one he gave nothing.
It was just nothing. Yeah,
and their chemistry is it's so
bad,
non-existent.
Let's talk about that when we talk about the actual okay.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into the Fantastic Four 2025. But the first thing we want to talk about a little bit is the production design.
Yeah.
Because I think we cannot talk about this movie without talking about the production design.
Yes.
So just straight off the bat, the setting is 1960s. They haven't been specific what year it is.
But I have a feeling it's like, because it's meant to be like 4 years after their origin, quote unquote, I'd probably say it's like 1965.
Yeah, it feels probably then.
Yeah.
Either way, it's 1960s. It's retrofuturism. Yeah. So clearly, there's a lot of this, technology and all of that stuff floating around despite it being the 50s. And most importantly, spoiler, it is Earth 828. So it is not our normal Earth that we know. I think it's
616. Yeah.
616. So it's not Earth 616. This is 828.
It's 828 because of Jack Kirby's birthday.
Yeah, and it is. They are the only superheroes that we know of that exist in this world.
Yes.
No one else does. So they are basically the champions of the universe, which is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
So like they have created this, like the readers sort of like created this utopia essentially through his technology.
Yeah.
People are happy. It's like, it's great. The setting's amazing.
That's what it should have been. And like, that is what people in the 60s were aspiring to, right? To have this piece, to have, these insane things inventions that work within our world and like all this stuff. And so it made sense for this to be
like
the
Jetsons
tone.
me.
It felt exactly. It was literally the Jetsons.
It was the Jetsons.
You see the flying cars. Yeah. You see the robots walking the dogs, and like all this stuff.
It was great.
This is the Jetsons. Even the train, the subway line, the elevated subway line. I was like,
it was great,
amazing.
And I'm sorry, part of the production design, we have to talk about like Herbie, for example.
Yes.
Right? Like,
okay,
Herbie.
So let's talk about Herbie. So Herbie is actually was puppeteered by a few different people, but mainly Jack Parker, who's worked a lot with like these robots and things. And the voice is Matthew Wood, who is General Grievous in Star Wars. Oh. So everyone was just like, the difference between...
as if I know who that is.
Who that is.
I don't. I'm not a Star Wars watcher.
True. I was just like saying it. Anyway, not a big deal. But the thing is, General Grievous has a very deep, very gravelly voice. Like, but to go from that to do like Herbie,
cute.
So cute. And the fact that it's like you can almost hear a voice.
Yeah.
You can almost hear words, but not completely.
Like there's this bit where he's building the crib and Sue comes in and he goes, "Hi, you're back."
It was so cute. It was so adorable. He was so cute. But yeah, he was actually there. He was a practical
That's amazing.
robot.
Yeah.
He was in the
He was
scenes
not
with them.
CGI'd,
He was
yeah.
not CGI. He was rolling around everywhere, flying around
That's
everywhere.
so cute.
Which was so cute. And yeah, the production design is Kazra Farhani, who has also done One Division with
which
Matt,
makes so much sense. So like the fact that it's Matt Shakman. I remember when they first announced it and it was going to be Matt Shakman. Immediately, the minute they announced that it was him, I was like, thing is,
perfect. So let's step back a bit. It was originally meant to be John Watts who did Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily worried, but I was just like, the tone of Spider-Man is similar, but it's not exactly... And this is before we knew that it was going to be retro 60s and like all this stuff. So I was like, oh, is it just going to be a contemporary thing again if it's John Watts?
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel. And then John was basically like, I've just done all this Spider-Man stuff. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. We need to move it on to someone else. And then that's when Matt was like...
And can I just say
I
props to him for doing that. Yes, I think that is an amazing thing.
To step down.
To step back. And say, I can't do this justice.
Yeah.
Give it to someone else.
Give it to someone else who can. And Matt was very much like... as he said, I've loved these characters since I was a kid. And I want to do this.
Yeah.
And as soon as that announcement came out, I was like, oh, this could be really good. This could be really good depending on what we do. Like, is it going to be a One Division thing? Is it going to be like, what's going to happen? And then with every announcement, it's going to be futuristic 1960s. It's going to be tribute to Jack Kirby. It's going to be, all this stuff. I was like, oh, this is getting so good. This is getting really good. But yeah, the world that they have built
is beautiful.
I can't even describe it. Like the sets are stunning. The like visuals are insane.
Yeah.
Which I mean we can talk about that separately at some point, but I just think there is so much attention to detail to everything. Like even if you look inside the Baxter Building apartment. Yes. So obviously with the practical side of things, we also had the sets that were built. Yeah. Again, all practical sets. Yes. They had the Excelsior rocket, which they built to scale, which was 1/30th of a scale, which is like, they said 13.5 feet. So they built like a live model. And then they filmed around it for like the exterior of the Excelsior, which was so cool.
Which, to be very fair, like when the Matt Shakman announcement came through, the first thing I thought about was like, it'll be practical
stuff because of One Division as well. So yeah, that was really cool. And then obviously the sets were all practical. They tried to do as much practical stuff with the powers. Yep. So like Ben, obviously Evan is in the fractal suit, and then I think Joe had like lights on his different clothes and on his suit and everything that would light up, and he had little orbs in his hands. And then with Vanessa, with Sue, they did so for the force field
screen projection.
They did screen projection, but like video projection, and then like how light reflects off that. So that when you see the effect in the movie, it's like rainbow colored.
Yeah, it's really
because
cool.
That's
actually,
how light would reflect off a force field.
Yep.
You know, it's actually scientifically proven
because the light is refracting.
It would not be blue. Like
my little bit of physics is coming through. I think it would refract.
Yeah. Would not be blue like it is in the other movies. Yeah. And then with the stretching for Reed, they had like a specific arm that would like, which is like a stretchy arm, but then they also have like guys in grey suits that would like take things from one to the other. I was like, that is so funny. That's like cute. Trying to imagine that, but it's just like the imagination that it took to do that. And even like when they were filming the stuff for going up into space, like in the montage, like the first mission.
Yeah.
Like all of that is shot on 16 millimeter cameras. So it's all stuff that would have been used at the time.
It's period appropriate.
Like it's period appropriate, which is the same thing that he did in WandaVision.
Yeah. And I think that's so cool.
So I think it's so amazing to do that.
Can we talk about the music?
Yeah.
The soundtrack, the official score.
Official score by Michael Giacchino.
Oh, so good.
This man has done already so much stuff, good stuff for Marvel. Like he did Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, and Thor, and everything.
Yes.
And we should mention his other stuff was like all 3 Jurassic World movies, and then
he did those as well. They were good.
The Incredibles, hello.
Yeah.
Up, and you know, a whole bunch of other things. Oh, Lost, hello.
Did he do Lost?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, he did Lost, the TV show.
Okay. I did not know that
as well back in the day.
Interesting.
But this one is just like, I don't know. I feel like it's just so different from everything that he's done.
The theme is just, I was listening to it while I was working.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I think I listened to the main theme probably 25 times.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
just
pretty
could
sure
not.
This is going to be on my Spotify Wrapped by the end of the year.
Yeah. I could not get over the absolute joy that you hear. Like you hear wonderment. Like that piece. Like I'm not talking about all of, like obviously this flows through in all the other pieces as well. Like I think there's one, what's the title of it? I think it's a really funny one. Bowel to Me.
Oh yeah, Bowel to Me.
Bowel to Me. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
And then I think there's also one about, I know they played during the Herald.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those ones are like, oh my gosh, amazing. But the main theme is just stunning because it like opens on like this orchestral thing. Then you've got like the little wonderment sort of like you know, that bit, and it's so just it takes you through a journey.
What's interesting is that they use the main theme several times throughout.
They repeated it,
and because it's repeated in Out to Launch.
Yeah,
when they do the next space travel.
Yep.
But it's such a different.
But it's different. It's
they've
different.
Changed the levels of it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good, and I loved because this theme was actually, it was composed before they even started filming.
I love it
because as soon as you know, Matt was like, I really want Michael to do this. I think he's one of the most brilliant people, and he has to be able to do this. I think
he captured it so well.
And he said to Michael, he's like, I want you to do the music. And he just got to work straight away. And then was just like, he goes to Matt one day, he's like, here's the main theme. And Matt's like, what? You did it already? And he was just like, this is it. This is it. And like, they even played it for the cast beforehand.
Love it.
And they were like, "Oh my god,
this is amazing!"
To the point where, like every other time on set, they'll be like, "Fantastic Four." Like, it really got in there. But he was talking about how like the process, the collaboration was so good because any ideas that they had, they would bounce off each other. But it was just like he just became like this. Just instantly just wanted to like make it great. You know, it had to be great. And like he took every opportunity to be to Matt like, I have this idea and I have that idea. And there was, Matt was saying in one of the interviews, he was like, we were on set one day and we don't know what track it is, so I would love to ask if I ever got the opportunity. But he was like, and Matt was like, we were at the monitors and he was sitting behind me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, he's like, I'm teaching myself GarageBand on the phone.
Who?
Michael.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, I've never done it on the phone. I'm teaching myself on the phone.
Wow, okay.
And he's like, what? And so right then and there, he composed.
And he used GarageBand.
Yeah. He composed something, and he was like, he showed it to Matt, and Matt was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then they showed it to the cast. They're like, this is incredible.
Wow.
Like, this is so good. Of course, they recorded it properly after, like, when they did the recordings in Abbey Road. But I was just like, that's amazing. These minds work. I just have no idea.
It's amazing. It's just, I love the main theme. It's so beautiful. Like, after a really long, I generally love Marvel soundtracks.
Yeah.
Like, I love movie soundtracks.
Yeah, same.
And the Marvel soundtrack has always been really good. Like,
Yeah.
there's another one that I love is The Guardians, The Black Tears.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I love the Guardians.
I love the Guardians
I love the
soundtrack.
Guardians. I love Captain America.
Yes.
Soldier, the whole
Winter
thing.
Soldier is amazing.
The whole thing from
And
Winter
one of my
Soldier.
biggest pet peeves with the newest Captain America,
Brave New World.
Brave New World, is the fact that we did not get
Louisiana Hero.
Louisiana Hero or the same.
Or the fact that we didn't get Henry Jackman.
Exactly.
Doing the music.
Henry
I
Jackman
was
did
so
not do the
upset.
music.
It
And
was to
that
the
really
point
bugged me.
where I didn't even notice the music
No, I
in
didn't.
the movie.
I didn't. In fact, we
Which
finished
was
watching
like-
and we're like, hang on a minute.
I was
I think as we were driving back, I was like,
did you
they
notice
didn't play
anything? Yeah.
Louisiana Hero.
I was like, not even that it was just Louisiana Hero.
Yeah.
I was like, did you even like feel anything from the music?
Nope.
I felt nothing.
Nothing.
So, but this just makes you
This
feel
makes you feel, and it's not even
everything.
necessarily makes you feel as you're watching the film. You're listening to it at your work desk,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel something.
Yeah.
And I absolutely
and
loved it.
we watched that little performance that happened before the LA premiere.
Yes,
And we were like,
It was
honestly,
lovely.
when they were playing it, I was like, this is a Galactus theme. And then sure enough, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And
and I love the little crowd participation
Yeah.
when he turned.
fantastic.
so
so
good.
good. I love that he was wearing the jacket with
It
the
was
four
so
on.
good. Like
Yeah.
so this is the thing. I'm loving the sense of fun around this
Oh,
movie.
it's just so good.
you know, and I think it's brilliant.
Fun is back.
Fun is back.
Fun
yes.
is back. I'm
I
so
love
happy.
it. Every little detail in there, and I think it is worth talking about the visuals there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have your big like cinematography portions, you know, which is like the whole city. You can see the whole city, and you see the city skyline,
Yes.
and you very clearly see the Excelsior
Launchpad, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
skyline as well. And it's
Yeah.
such a really nice, because it's New York, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like this alternate version of New York, which is immediately recognizable, but you also recognize that it's not the regular New York.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And New York is such an iconic, recognizable, even if you have never been there.
Yeah.
You recognize
You know
New
it,
York
yeah.
skyline, right? So I loved that.
Yeah.
And they shot it so beautifully. And also just like the visuals through the window of the Baxter building to the
Yes.
outside.
Yeah.
You know, like something small like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't come off as like a weird projection or, you know, things like that. It
Yes.
actually looks so real. And I just loved that. Just little things that were these attention to detail bit. And then, of course, you come to like the big set pieces. Like, I loved the space section, the first scene where they go into space.
Oh my God.
It's so like even the bit where they're all just sort of like checking the instruments and things, and they're getting in, and you know they're flying up, and even like as the space journey is happening, just
Yeah.
parts of the spacecraft itself.
Yeah.
You see everything, and there's not one thing that's not like.
It was literally like you were watching, and I guess this is where the inspiration came from, because the cast even watched the Apollo 11 documentary.
Yeah.
But like seeing the parts of the hull fall away, and like, you know, before
Yeah,
it
exactly.
goes up into the what is the thing called where it like the situation?
FTL.
Yeah, the FTL, like
Yeah.
it situates itself inside. Like, you know, you're supposed to see like the rockets and things.
Yeah.
And it goes up. It was just like it was like
It was
watching,
really lovely. Yeah.
like an actual space thing
Yeah.
happening. It was so amazing, and like even the whole like montage leading up to it and everything, like the Ted Gilbert show and all that. It was just like it all looked like how you've seen.
What you would see,
Yeah.
something
like
set in
old
the
monitors
60s, yeah.
and like the old bleachers and like all
I
that
even like the detail of the Times Square, where literally
Yes.
instead of the neon, like the screens, it's actually got television screens.
Yes. But like the old style.
That's so cute.
The cutest thing I've ever seen.
And honestly, I picked that out only in the second run.
yeah.
So we watched this twice.
Yeah. Of course we did. Watched on Thursday night and Friday night.
So I noticed it the second time
Yeah.
we watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked
it was
that.
Stunning. And even the costumes. Oh my
Oh,
god.
the costumes were great.
Oh, Jesus. It was just everyone looked immaculate.
Right?
Immaculate. Even the extras looked immaculate.
I was just saying this, and this is where I would say production design, and you know, I would count the extras in that.
yeah,
Right?
same.
The extras, I am so impressed with them.
Amazing.
They looked great.
Yeah.
They acted their butts off.
They really did.
Like every reaction scene you saw them do.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you saw their facial expressions, even just walking down the street, the way that they were. I loved it. This was the first time I noticed extras.
Yeah.
This sounds really weird.
I know it sounds really bad, but
it's the first time I actually noticed what extras were doing.
Yeah.
And everything, like especially with the scene where, you know, Julia Garner's amazing Silver Surfer comes in.
Jesus, yeah.
Shala Bal, she comes in and she's, you know, the speech that I herald.
I herald his beginning.
I
herald your end. I herald
Galactus.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Icon.
And yeah, and like even in that, while they're all just standing and watching, and I saw this little interview clip of hers.
Yeah.
Where she's talking about how that was her first scene of shooting.
Yes.
And, you know, she was a bit nervous and stuff. But Matt Shankman then talked about it. And he's like, her voice is booming out. And everyone just felt it. They're just watching her. And you can see that on their faces.
She's up on 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
On a crane in a fractal suit. And yes, you're on a soundstage, but it's still cold.
Yeah.
And those fractal suits aren't warm, right?
Oh, jeez.
So, like, she was just like, she has to, like, perform this thing in front of, like, 300 extras.
It was amazing.
And everyone's just like, she's incredible. Like,
amazing.
Even Pedro and everybody was just like, she's amazing.
Yeah. And also just, like, and you see the extras there, and they looked like they're watching the actual sofa. And I loved that. Absolutely. It's a small detail, but I just loved it.
Amazing. Yeah.
So like, yeah, and of course the main cast in their costumes, so immaculate. I felt like everything was so well detailed. Like, you know, Sue Storm's outfits, everything she wears is like
difference between her at work and her at home.
Yeah, like what she wears at home,
amazing.
she's clearly comfortable and, you know, relaxed. Like at one point she's even wearing like track pants.
Yeah.
And can we please talk about her little maternity Fantastic Four costume?
I was like, I don't know how to wipe the cute off me.
It is so cute.
It was so adorable because it was like a dress with like pockets.
It was like a peplum
top
with
like pants, her original pants. And then it was legitimately the cutest thing I've ever seen.
It was very cute.
It was so adorable.
It was very cute.
And like even her suit, her astronaut suit is like, what does Reed say? He's like, oh, it's technically the same as your original. It's just bigger. And her face just goes, excuse me.
Excuse me. He's like, no,
bluer. It's bluer.
It's so cute.
So cute. Oh my god, it was adorable.
I think important to talk about, obviously.
Costume designer is Alexandra Byrne.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Important to talk about like the opening. I think when it comes to, obviously we'll jump into characters and story, but I think it's important to talk about the story. Yeah. I think the structure of the story was so interesting because it actually opens up on this really intimate, quiet moment.
Yes.
Where they're just at home.
Favorite part about it, to be honest.
They're just at home. There's no big showy entrance. They're just, it's their bedroom. It's the most private room in their home. Yeah. It's the bedroom and it's a bit messy. You know, costumes on the floor.
Reed picks it up, puts it on the bed.
And Reed just looks confused. He's looking for something to rub
he's looking for the aloe iodine,
whatever that is. And, you know, he's just kind of like, where is it? Just rummaging through drawers.
And some go, these are very expired.
Yeah. and, you know, and she's sort of in the bathroom. And you can see from her expression, you can't see what she's doing, but you can see from her expression, something's up.
Yeah.
And then she comes out with a pregnancy test. And, you know, it's this really beautiful... Well,
she comes out with she's like, babe, if you give me 12 seconds, I can find it for you. And then she comes out, takes out the iodine, gives it to him, and then she slides the pregnancy
and he even says, he goes, that's oddly specific.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful opening
it's stunning.
To a movie because it's about family.
Yeah.
This movie. And to see it start with the inception of their family.
Yes.
Is beautiful.
A family that they've been trying 2 years for.
Yeah, we get that little detail.
You know, which I thought was amazing for them to put that in because, you know, and them just being like, we didn't even talk about it. We don't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
We were okay with with it not happening.
With it not happening,
and now but he says this is better. This is great.
So it's this really beautiful little moment we get to see. And I think just it sets the tone for what their relationship is going to look like to us. which is this really amazing, you know, they're a couple. They're just an ordinary couple at the end of the day, because we're going to actually see them do some interesting and amazing things, but they're just a husband and wife hoping to have a family. That's as basic as it is.
Yep.
And just the introduction of them in their home, you know, we don't get to see any big action to start off with until we get to the what is it, Ted? What?
The Ted Gilbert.
The show. Ted Gilbert show, and we see the montage.
Yeah.
Of the things that they've done.
Yeah. Of the first
4 years.
Yeah.
Essentially.
First 4 years, the first mission to go up to space, where they get their powers.
I love the fact that we do not actually see them get the powers.
Because the shot is just basically them standing on the bridge to go up and go up to the rocket. Yeah. But the voice recording over it is the transmission from
I think that's so good.
Brilliant.
Because
and you just hear them like, Johnny's like, what's going on? What's going on?
It sets up the fact that this is all from the viewpoint of us humans.
Yeah.
Watching their lives and what they've done. It's not from their perspective.
No,
really.
Yeah.
And also the reason why I like it, because when we watched the first one on Wednesday.
Oh, Jesus. The 2005
one. The 2005 one. The scene where they get their powers is so goofy. Oh my goodness. It is.
The facial expressions are just awful.
So goofy.
In that scene.
It's just so goofy. Like, I hated the CGI in it. And look, for its time, it was 2005. So that's like 20 years ago. So I get that. I get that completely.
Yeah.
But still, I don't like it.
No.
So I was actually very nervous about, like, oh, are they going to show it? Are they not going to show it? But I was reassured because Matt Chapman had said this is not an origin story.
And we're not going to see it.
And I thought that was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really cool. So I think the opening of the story was really good. Yeah. I think overall as a story, there's been a lot of criticism about the story itself, like not from like the majority, but there has been some criticism that the story is a little bit weak and all of that stuff. Personally, I don't think so.
I don't think so, because you've established this is not going to be anything about, like, I mean, it's about the villain in some instances, but it's about how the villain is affecting this family. And it's about this family and about how they are just going through insurmountable odds to get to trying to save their, at this point, unborn son, but he is going to be born. And trying to keep their group together. And the thing is, the story, I don't find it to be weak, because it establishes everything we need to know about these characters. It gives us really good, like, highlights of and moments of them. The villains are great. Galactus is terrifying. Yeah. And Shalabal is, I mean, at first you're like, oh God, not her again. Yeah. Every time she comes into something, you're like, oh Jesus. But she's empathetic. Like, you have empathy towards her situation when
and she comes off as menacing.
Yeah, she comes off as menacing.
She is menacing.
Ruining their lives.
She's ruthless.
Yeah.
And the only time that you really see her, like, where you see her waver a little bit is when Galactus. She goes, but he's a child.
Yeah. But he's a child. You
know, like when Galactus basically goes, I want their son.
Yeah.
I want that kid.
Yeah.
So there's a bit in the film, obviously, they go up into space because they've, you know, got this message from Silver Surfer, and they're like, all right, they kind of figure out everywhere that she has been, there's been energy sources at these different planets, and those planets have died, essentially. And they go up into space, and I love this bit because even though they've been doing this for 4 years, clearly they've taken a few space missions. But this seems to be like after a big break. Yeah. Because you see Johnny like really yearning
to go out
out again. Like he looks at the plane and he's like, oh my gosh.
The rocket.
The rocket. And he's like, I really want to go. And I love the fact that this is not the first time they're going into space, but the way that people are responding is...
I know.
It's like, oh, it was successful. And it's like, oh. Yeah. I love that they're not jaded.
Yes.
You know?
I love that.
They're like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. They're going back in space.
Yeah.
Whatever. No one needs to look up. It's just so normal. No. There's a crowd gathered there.
Gathering. They all have their flags.
I think it's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it so much. And just that the music soaring as the
gorgeous
spaceship is going up. I was just like, this is amazing.
And even them in the spaceship, their expressions as they're going up
stunning.
and as they sort of crest and they see the Earth,
yeah,
they still
Smile.
look awed,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh my goodness, that's Earth. Like, it's not like this.
Yeah, Johnny literally
normal
goes to Reed.
thing.
He's just like, you see that?
Yeah.
And Reed smiles.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
so
there's still
good.
this level of excitement,
Yeah.
you know, and what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're not jaded. They're not like,
Stunning.
oh, we've done this so many times, it's not a big deal
So
anymore.
beautiful.
So I love that bit. And of
Yeah.
course, you know, the whole sequence where they meet Galactus and they're confronted by what happens. That scene is
Can I just say from the
beautiful.
time, honestly, from the time
that whole space sequence.
the whole space sequence,
Yeah.
right from the time they go up to the time they come back.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I don't, the run time of that is probably like, what, 20, 25 minutes or
It's
something.
incredible.
The whole thing, it lives rent free.
I think it's my favorite part of the movie.
It's my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. It's a highlight.
It is so good because that is when you get to see them together as a family, yes, but as scientists and doing what they do best.
And explorers.
But like I'm talking about like specifically
Yes,
as scientists.
their skill set,
because
yeah.
That's their skill set. Like, yes,
And
they're
not their
explorers,
powers
and
so
not
much,
their
yeah.
powers
Yeah.
that much. Not their powers
Yeah.
that much. And that is the best part about
Yeah.
it. Because as we have tried to establish going into this movie, and Matt has been saying, they are scientists. They're family first, yes, but they're scientists, they are explorers, and then they are
they're
superheroes when
yeah.
they need to be.
Mm.
And that is the best thing that you can actually understand about
Yeah.
them and learn about them even in the comics.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Yeah, because they're not, so this is the difference between Fantastic Four and other superheroes, I feel. Tony Stark probably comes close to this. They already have a technical skill set before they get their powers.
Yeah.
You know, like Spider-Man gets his powers because he gets bitten. Captain America gets the super serum, then he becomes who he becomes, right?
Yeah.
Same with, you know, like your Bucky Barnes and all of that. Tony Stark already was an engineer, so he was already smart. And then he kind of developed himself. So I think he's the closest that comes to them. Whereas they are all established in their careers. They're all established in their sort of fields of expertise. And then they end up getting their powers. And that kind of just enhances what they do. It doesn't change what they do, really.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the, I think, crux of the characters that they are. Which is not very common in a lot of...
No,
because generally speaking, when you look at superheroes, they get their powers, then they become who they become.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
but
not
they were
the other way
already
around.
these people.
They were already these people.
Like, their powers are literally like the 12th most interesting thing about them.
Yeah, probably.
You know? About each of them.
Yeah. I don't know. That whole sequence is amazing. And I think for me, and I think for you and for a lot of other people, is that Bert scene.
Don't even. Bert scene and them escaping
Galactus.
Chalabon.
Yeah.
And Galactus. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that whole sequence is just, not only is it visually stunning, it is so full of tension and stress. And
terror.
Like, you know that they're going to get out of this because it's halfway through the movie, right? Yeah. But it's the how of it. It's like, how are they going to get out of it? And you really see, and this is where you really see the cerebral part of Reed. Like, you see his, like, obviously you see the physical side of it. And just, I guess we'll talk a little bit about this when we talk about the character specifically. But you don't see Reed doing a lot of physical stretching.
Yeah.
At this point, right?
Yeah.
Not as much. Until really you start seeing him in the Bert scene, because he's literally got his legs wrapped up on top and he's holding her shoulders down, right? Yeah. But you're also seeing his mind stretch because he is helping her through labor.
Yeah.
He's helping them
doing the maths to try and get out of
the black hole.
Yeah.
He's helping Johnny kind of, you know, figure out any other stuff. So he's doing like 3 different things.
Yeah.
At the same time, plus physically holding her down so that she gets gravity to push. So you really get to see a manifestation of what his stretchiness is.
Yeah.
It's not just physical.
Yeah. It's mental as well. Yeah.
It's mental. It's emotional. I loved that aspect about him.
So good.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that whole sequence is some of the best space visuals I've ever seen in a long time.
Where she's like riding
she's riding like the sun, like not the sunbeam, but like the fire and like because Johnny's cut like the tentacle things off Galactus, and it like all flows out, and so she's riding it like that. Oh my God. And then she's riding the wormhole. I was like, are you insane?
The riding the wormhole bit is like, I love this.
Me? And then he's like trying to like get her like with the blaster. Oh my God. It was just insane.
That whole scene is excellent.
It was insane. I just...
Out of that scene, the funniest bit for me was when Sue was like, I'm ready to push. And she kicks her pants off.
The pants go flying.
Yeah, but the thing is, and then Sue again, in that moment where she's going through so much pain.
Yeah.
And she's scared. You can see she is terrified.
Yeah,
like she's never done this before. Yeah. Like no matter how smart you are, like giving birth is not, whatever. And then Rhea literally goes, "Can you do one more thing?"
He's like,
"Can you make us invisible
for 30 seconds?" And she's like,
and she just puts her hands there and she makes it. And so, but the thing is, she does it naturally at that point because she is straining to give birth, and it's the most stunningly emotional bit. Like, oh my goodness, it was amazing.
And then like with the baby is born and it like floats for a second.
Yeah.
And the sunbeam comes through.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, and I love the fact that Ben is the one that kind of does that.
Yeah.
And that little detail, because we missed it in the first time. We were like, how did she get a blanket on her lap?
It was Herbie.
It was so cute.
I didn't realize, but I love that bit because again, emphasizing family, like it goes quiet again.
Yeah.
And they're all just looking at the baby, including Herbie. Herbie's looking at the baby.
I like how Herbie just gently brings the blanket and puts it on her lap.
And she just says Franklin, which is the baby's name. And her and Johnny just look at each other because that's their father's name.
And it was such a beautiful, quiet, emotional moment, And it was like the chaos, like that restoration of order over the chaos. They've just gotten rid of Silver Surfer, they've gotten out of the black hole, and now they're on their way home with their baby. It's such a beautiful moment. And that whole sequence,
for it to quiet down after this harrowing experience, like because it starts with Galactus literally forcing her into labor
because he wants the baby.
He wants the child because he says the child will inherit this cursed throne. And
this is the thing about Galactus. Like I've seen a couple people say, "Oh, he's not that great a villain." Whatever. The thing is, if you are familiar with Galactus is actually one of the villains that they've encountered. A number of times. And Galactus is, I think he's a celestial.
Yes.
Isn't he? And he
eats planets.
Eats planets.
Yep.
Even just that scene where they see that, Galactus's ship sort of going through that planet. And they're like, what is this? Oh my gosh. Galactus is terrifying. Like for a being that is billions of years old telling you that your son is someone like me. And that he is going to be born to take on my curse.
So basically, Franklin has the power cosmic, which only Celestials really have. So he is one of the most powerful beings. And in fact, the most powerful by the time he's grown up and everything. So he can actually practically do anything. Like he's got telepathy, telekinesis.
Well, in the comic books, he can make
pocket universes.
Yeah, he makes pocket universes before he's like 10.
Yeah, he just does it for fun.
Yeah.
So if he can do that for fun, imagine what he can do.
Didn't he restore the multiverse at one point when he was like a teenager or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's done a lot of stuff.
He's incredible.
He's incredible in that way, if you look at it.
So I mean, Galactus. So these people who are technically, yes, they're superpowers, but they're just ordinary humans at the end of the day. And this is like the first time they've kind of, At least that's what I feel. This is
Yeah.
the first time they've met this level of a villain.
Because even in that montage, when you see they've gone through the first 4 years, it's literally like villains like Mole Man and Red Ghost. Well, Red Ghost is a little bit like, you know, because he's got these giant apes that follow him around. But like, you know, the Mad Thinker and all this stuff. It's things that have been like separate issues.
Yes.
You know, like Mole Man still has been like, he's one of the OGs.
Yeah.
But it's not at the level of Galactus, who has shown up in pretty much every single run at like different points.
And I think this is such an interesting way to open, because it's not some like Earth level villain.
Yeah.
This is the stakes are high. It's literally humanity.
Yes.
Like the Earth is and
at risk,
I don't understand people who are like, oh, the stakes are not high enough. What more do you want? Like
than them having to choose whether to give up their baby to this all-powerful thing and have that thing of he could turn evil or give up humanity.
Yeah, like
entirely.
Because essentially Galactus demands you give me your child and I will save your planet.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's not happening. And I love the fact that how when they come back, it's such tall puppy syndrome. This is why we as humans suck.
Yeah. Give up your child.
Give up your child. Like, excuse me?
To be fair, everybody's kind of like, Reed, you should not have told them what they want, what he wanted. And that just shows you that Reed has no people skills.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. And media training wasn't a thing back then.
Media training was not a thing back then. So.
But yeah, like, you know, this turn, like all of a sudden they go from being like these heroes celebrated in everything to now being the villains essentially. Like you're being selfish. You're not giving your child up because, you know, that would save us.
Yeah.
And they're all protesting outside of the house. And then we get another amazing moment, which is when Sue goes out with the baby.
Stunning.
And she basically introduces the baby to everybody.
Yeah, she does the thing that, and I guess this is where we can start talking about characters, but she does the thing that is the most difficult thing you can do, and that is confront the people that hate you. And hate this child that they don't even know. And so you introduce them to this child.
And it's literally like, what are you doing, lady? They're going to get your kid.
They're going to get, even the crowd is like, how dare you bring him out here and all this stuff. And I was like, she's okay. And I was like, what? Are they going to start like pummeling her and stuff? But she just says, you know me, you know my story, you know what happened to me and Johnny. Yeah. And like, but we are not abandoning you. We would never give up on you.
But I can't give up my child.
When she says at the end, she says, I will not sacrifice my child for this world, but I will not sacrifice the world for my child.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, we will fight this together.
No, doesn't she say it the other way around?
No. She says that I will not sacrifice my child for this world, but I won't sacrifice this world for my child. That is what she says.
Is that what she says?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And she says, we'll fight this together. We'll defeat this together as a family.
As a family, yeah.
And that's just like...
It's amazing.
The core of who she is.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
You know?
She's a diplomat.
She's a diplomat. She can appeal to people. She is a people person because she's gone through, as we've said, she's gone through something really tough in that her and Johnny lost their mum really early. Their dad becomes a drunk. And, you know, he basically gets sent to a penitentiary. And they grow up in boarding school and like all this stuff. So they have gone through some really tough stuff. Yeah. And she's gone, and she's, you know, they fall on hard times. And the dad used to be a surgeon. So they've lost money and all this stuff. And they really just become like middle-class people by the end. Yeah. And so she knows how to appeal to people on grassroots
outside.
Level.
Yeah.
She knows how to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So... that's just that she's brilliant. That's just who she is.
And that's the thing, like this is where I think the strength of the character and the actors playing them come in. Yeah, like she really brought like I hate comparing, but again, comparing like Jessica Alba to Vanessa Kirby,
light years ahead.
Like Vanessa Kirby, if you don't know, she has been in The Crown. She played Princess Margaret. Yeah. I have loved her since then. Yeah. Same. Oh my goodness. She was my favorite. Yeah. In that first 2 seasons.
Mine too.
She's so amazing.
She's amazing.
She's amazing as Margaret. She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And not just physically, like, oh my gosh, she's stunning.
Yeah.
But like just as an actress, she's so wonderful to watch. And she brings that with Sue. And to be very fair, I was never like doubtful or anything of her, but I was like, oh, this is such a different thing to see her do.
Yeah.
And of course she was like in Mission Impossible and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But like she just was so, and that's the other thing, like in The Crown and even like Mission Impossible and some of the other stuff that I've seen her in, she's kind of like this, she's very hard, you know, and she's very like harsh and cold. But as Sue, she's so warm and loving and just so
Protective
generous and protective and empathetic.
Like,
and
do not mess with her.
Oh, absolutely.
She will, like, when times get to it, she will defend her family like a mama bear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, she's
just got this inherent warmth about her, and she's just, I loved that about her.
Yeah.
And Vanessa Kirby, I think, did such an amazing job with that.
Yeah.
And even
but also
course, showing
showing like bits of her dark side. Really,
yeah, definitely.
Well, like where she gets really like gravelly and like
the bit where
scary,
she,
like,
what's the bit where she literally like she says,
when Reed is saying that they have to use Franklin as bait, and well, she says, you want to use Franklin. He says, no, I'm
she's like, I know how you work.
And she's like, I know how you know. And he's like, Sue, and she's like, I know. And he's like, I know.
And she just disappears.
She just disappears. Oh my god! I literally, like, my
I know. I got a bit scared.
I was like, I actually got a little bit scared. I was like, oh no, what just happened? I was like, are they like 4 seconds away from divorce?
Amazing.
Like, what's going on?
Mum and Dad are fighting.
Mum and Dad are fighting. Don't fight, please.
But I think even like her chemistry with, like, you know, obviously the 3 members of her family. So obviously Johnny is there. That's her brother.
Yeah.
I love their little relationship. And I don't think I think it's very subtle. We haven't been bombarded or hit over the head with it.
Yeah.
But they haven't completely ignored it. Like, one of the criticisms I had about the 2005 and the 2007, I think was the second one, movies, was that you barely see Johnny and Sue interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And whenever they do, it's always antagonistic.
Fighting.
They're always fighting. She's always yelling at him.
Yeah.
About something. But in this, it's like, you know, he's kind of making fun of things. And I love the moment where she walks in, she goes, I have had no sleep.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh yeah, because you didn't choose to be a mother. I didn't do all of this.
Like, it's not like you chose this, being a mother.
Like, only he can get away with saying that because he's a brother. Like, anyone else could get a slap in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
I love those little moments. And even, like, you know, when Johnny's kind of being a little bit dismissed by Reed and the others, she comes to his room and she's like, okay, tell me, what is it, you know, that you want to talk about? So she knows how to kind of talk to her brother and listen to him. Yeah. And then the way she is with Reed as well, like, she understands when Reed doesn't even have to say something and she gets it. Like, with the whole Franklin thing, she goes, I know what you're thinking. Yeah. And Reed's like, no, I'm not thinking that.
That argument scene, that was a masterclass to me. That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen, because that was honestly, like, we see couples fight in arguments and stuff and like in movies and things, but that was one of the first times I was like, these two people truly understand each other. Yeah. Like, they get it. Yeah. Like, she said, like, because the whole thing is that the crowd is outside and they're all like chanting that they want to get rid of Franklin and all this stuff. And Reed at the table, when they're discussing a plan, he's just like, well, it's mathematical, ethical, available to them. And she gets really, like, pissed off. She's like, it's so easy for you to say that. And he's like, no, it's actually not, because, you know, I think of the worst possible thing. You know, I'm trying to, like, it's my job to basically think of the worst possible thing. And then she's like, no, it's not your job, it's just you. And he was like, yeah, I don't dream, I don't wonder, I just, you know, think of awful ways that people can hurt you. Yeah. And then try to do
not
something
to do it.
Yeah, try to do something that it doesn't, you know. It's like, well, sometimes you hurt me. The way you being you hurts me.
The way you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, whoa.
Yeah. And he says, well, I don't mean to. And I was just like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for.
It's moments like that was essentially kind of like, you know, those couples with deep, deep love. Yes. But they are also open and honest and go, you know what? There are moments where I do not like you. I do not like who you are as a person, because that scares me.
Yes.
You know, it's like, and not in like, you know, like any sort of, you know, violent way or anything like that, but just the way your mind works is not necessarily the thing that I like.
Yeah.
You know, and no, it's very difficult to admit that.
This is what Pedro and Vanessa both got so right, is that Reed and Sue love each other to the core, but they make mistakes.
Yeah.
They fight, they bicker, they say some things that will set you back on your heels for like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they are always together.
Yeah.
They always come back to each other. And they never, ever, ever, ever stop loving each other.
Yeah. And that's key.
Love is always the central part of it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them so interesting. And that's what makes like Reed so interesting, because we know him to be so in his head.
Yeah.
The man is brilliant. He's the smartest guy in the world. He has 13 PhDs.
Yeah.
But weirdly, love drives him. Because it's his love for his family that has him being like, okay, this needs to be done, and like I have to do this and this equation and that equation, and like she's the only one who could pull him out of that as well.
Yeah.
But that is also what makes him want to do the things that he does. And like Pedro said it so perfectly, like his family is everything to him. He is so easily like taken with them that if they're not there, he is nothing. And he is a man who can be devoured by his brain if he doesn't have
pretty
them.
much. If he didn't have them, then he'd go mental.
His moral compass does not exist. Like, I always say that man is one day away from ruining the world, from destroying the world.
He could easily become a villain.
And he has. And he has in so many iterations.
He has.
Like, he's become the maker in the Hickman run.
Yeah.
He's made the Council of Reeds.
He can think like a villain, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because he can think so many scenarios.
But it's his family that keeps him grounded.
Yeah. And I think that is such an interesting take. Like, it's simplistic to think, yes, he's Mr. Fantastic, he's the hero. He can very well turn out to be the villain as well. Yeah. And I think that is such an amazing character to write.
Yeah. And even just seeing him with the baby, with Franklin, of like not being able to understand this child, but loving him regardless. Because that whole scene with the two of them, after like they've come up with the plan to like
basically bait.
Basically, not even. I don't think it's before the bait.
Isn't it?
I think it's when they're planning to move the earth.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah.
I think it's when they're planning to move the earth. But he basically says, you know, I built this machine to try to understand you. You know, fathers want to be able to have their sons be like them, but I don't want you to be like me.
I want you to be you.
There's something wrong with me. There always has been.
I want you to be you.
I want you to be you. And
you can tell me who you're going to be.
You're going to tell me who you are. And he's like, if you could tell me before you turn into a space god, that would be great. So that's what the humor comes in a little bit with them. But that scene is so
It's such a beautiful
stunning,
little
like,
scene.
His love for his child, for his baby, is what saves them in the end. You know, even Sue. Yeah. You know, with her like literally
pushing Galactus
into that
what is it, portal?
Yeah. That's her saving her child and saving the world because her love for this child is so strong.
I think coming back to Reed, I think the bit that I really like about it, like Reed in the comic books is very arrogant. Yeah. As we said, he's got the potential to be a villain. He has been the villain a few times. Yes. In different runs, and he very much is very cold. He's calculating. He has ignored his family a few times because he's so in his own head.
Several times, yeah.
Especially his kids. Yes. He can be a right jerk.
Yeah.
And I think this is such a... Because, see, at this point, we've only seen him... It's only been 4 years since they've had their powers. So I did see someone say, I really like Reed, but we didn't see him being arrogant and jerky enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, to be very fair, this is only 4 years in.
Yeah.
This is not they haven't really dealt with massive challenges before Galactus.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen his jerkiness yet.
No.
I think that's yet to come. In fact, we see hints of his arrogance.
Yeah.
Especially in the way he deals with Johnny.
Yes. Johnny, but even like little things, like even when, Herbie is building the crib.
Yes.
But like, Sue says, I went by the nursery and it looks like Herbie's building a crib, which I thought you were going to do. And he was just like, well, anybody can build a crib. Only I can build this, which is like the machine to see the baby.
Yeah.
And that's really arrogant.
Yeah.
That's really arrogant.
It is very arrogant. Yeah.
Like, only I can build this. Like, okay.
Like,
Thanks,
he
dude.
sees certain tasks that are beneath him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice little hint into that nature.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that yet because I personally feel, and we'll talk a little bit about like the future of the Fantastic Four, but I personally feel we can see him potentially being
a real asshole.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because, like you said, even with Johnny, he is cold. He is cold. He is a bit dismissive. Like,
he's very dismissive.
The thing is, he loves his brother.
Oh, he loves him. Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think he likes him very much.
No, because for him, Johnny's kind of like annoying.
Yeah.
He's
the one who's like trying to insert himself.
But like Ben is his best friend. Ben is his equal.
Yeah.
Like not so much equal, but like Ben knows how to deal with him. Let's not forget that. Right?
We'll get to Ben and Johnny a little bit more.
But Johnny is still trying to find his feet. And he's kind of like this puppy just going at it and reads like, oh my God, get off my leg.
Literally, and I guess we're sort of transitioning into Johnny here, but like just to stay on Reed, but him just being like, I'm busy, Johnny. I'm busy. Yeah. I'm busy. He even is like, what's my 215? I don't know what my 215 is.
It's Johnny.
It's Johnny.
And he's like, oh.
He's forgotten. He's like, oh, that 215.
It's not important enough for him,
like, he doesn't realize that. And it's not because he doesn't love him. It's just because his mind is elsewhere.
For him, Johnny's not that important right now. Because he's like, oh, yeah, it's just going to be Johnny. It's just... Yeah. But he does take the time to be like, okay, there's this transmission. You want to listen to it. He knows Johnny's interested in that, so he's taking the time out to actually save that for him.
He's like, yeah, you do it.
So there's that. Even though in his mind, there's like, oh, I don't have time for this, whatever, give it to Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny then proves himself.
Yeah.
By actually doing the work.
Yeah.
So I think this is a nice little moment to transition into Johnny.
Yeah.
And there's been so much talk about
here we go.
Johnny and who the right person is to play Johnny. Joseph Quinn, a lot of people don't like him as Johnny.
Still,
even after watching it, I personally think he did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yep.
To be fair, I've only ever seen him in Stranger Things before this, and I really liked him as Eddie in that as well. I think he's got a bit of a charm, a bit of charisma. He's very different to Eddie. He doesn't play the same character the same way.
Not Eddie at all.
I haven't seen him in anything else.
I saw him in A Quiet Place.
How was that?
Day one. Which is, again, very different. It's a totally different character. Yeah. It's not the same at all.
Yeah.
So
I think he's
got good range.
I really liked him.
And I believed that he could do it from the very start. Like, when they announced Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm.
Oh, actually, I've seen him in Gladiator. Thank you.
We saw him in Gladiator. Again, totally different.
Yeah.
Right? Emperor Gator. Like, could not be more different from Johnny Storm. But I believed in that kid. I say kid, he's like 30.
He's still younger than you.
Still a lot younger than me. But from the start, as soon as they said it was him, I was like, I'm in. I'm in.
I was
think
in.
This is perfect. Of course, other people were like, oh, he can't play the, ladies' man, and he can't do this, and he can't do that. And this is the frustrating part about those 2000s films, is if that is your only
point of reference
to these characters,
then you don't know Johnny.
Then you don't know Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
You don't know Johnny Storm. He is so much more than the ladies' man.
Yeah.
He is so much more than the hothead.
Yeah.
He literally, his powers only manifest that way because he's so impulsive. But being impulsive is not the only thing that he is.
Yeah.
He is loyal. He loves his family to the core.
Yeah.
He wants to be respected, like how we said with Reed. He's like just the puppy dog that just wants attention. He wants his sister to take him seriously. Yeah. He wants, yes, he annoys Ben and everything, but he just wants to, be able to have like companionship, like a friend, a brother.
Yeah.
But he's insanely smart.
Yeah.
He is charming, yes, but he's also really aspirational and really wants to be like, there's so much more out there that I could do.
Yeah.
And that is why in this movie, he takes it upon himself to go through those transmissions of Shallabel's language.
Actually try and translate them.
And to translate them.
And he succeeds.
And
he does it.
In the comics, I think he just has like some kind of gadget thing that does the translation thing for him. But still, he's interested enough to do that. Yeah. And this, he actually like works through it and like
when he finds out what the translation of that one phrase is,
which is "die with yours." But it's just, and the thing is, I feel like people are misinterpreting his thing with Shallabel, the Silver Surfer, because everyone's like, "Oh, love interest." It's not about love.
No, I don't think so.
It's not about love. It's just that she represents something to him that is so otherworldly, so high above.
He's fascinated.
I think,
there is a little bit of that hint of Johnny is the one that has canonically fallen in love with the aliens. He did have an alien girlfriend. In one of the runs. But, like, I think for him, it's like, she's a naked lady on a surfboard.
Yeah.
And she's hot. And she's from space.
And she's, like, what did he say? He's like, I know what you guys are thinking. I know. Johnny loves space. Johnny loves women. And now there's literal naked space women. And Johnny thinks they had a moment.
Right? So, like, literally, that defines who he is.
Yeah.
He didn't have a moment. He's just fascinated.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really nice way of looking at it. Like, okay, so I will say, I think I mentioned it at the start, where when we watched the other movies, Chris Evans, to be very honest, was, and in my head, I don't know why I thought it was way worse than he was.
Same.
He wasn't the best, but he wasn't as bad as I thought he was.
Yeah, except in the second one.
Second one, he was way worse. First one, I actually kind of liked him.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind him in the first one. He's got that hot-headedness. He's silly. He's goofy. He's funny.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a lot of intelligence from him, and that's where it was missing. Yeah. I think Chris Evans did an amazing job at playing what he got.
Yeah.
Even in the second one, but I just think like they could have made him a bit smarter.
Yeah.
And that's what they did not do.
Because everyone thinks that Johnny is dumb. He's not dumb.
He's not dumb. He's actually really smart, and he's actually really empathetic, and we see that here.
Yeah.
When he confronts Shallabel, and he changes her mind.
Yes.
He literally confronts
speaks to her in her language.
Yeah, and he transmits that whole thing.
Yeah.
And technically, you would think Sue would be the one to do something like that. Yeah. But no, he does it because he understands where she's coming from.
Yeah.
She's isolated from her people. Johnny's kind of trying to figure out his own way. He's not necessarily isolated, but he is not feeling as if he's respected. I wouldn't say that he's a tool as much. I think you brought this up. He was like, "Oh, Johnny, do this. Johnny, do this." He doesn't even question it. He just does it.
Yeah,
right?
like there's like one, like just when the sky color changes. Yeah. It's that Halloween
when
night
she's about to come in. Yeah.
And Reed just goes, "Johnny," and he's like on it,
and he just goes
off.
Yeah.
And then you see the fantastic car falling, but it's not like, oh, he's a dog, just point him at anything. No.
But he's used to following orders.
He's used to following orders. And he knows what his purpose is. His purpose is that he can get ahead of things before they can.
Yeah.
Because he can fly. He can, if it's some kind of danger, he's the first point.
Yeah.
Who can get to the danger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think he recognizes that she is kind of like trapped in what she has to do.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily trapped, but it's like, where else is he gonna do?
Yeah.
What else is he gonna do?
Yeah.
He has to find his place within this family.
Yeah.
So he kind of has this little empathetic moment with her, and he realizes what is happening, and that's when that moment is so good.
Scenes. I was so happy. Like, I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Johnny Storm that I have been waiting for so long.
We see him do something other than just chasing girls and, that sort of thing.
So
and
happy.
I wish we had seen something like that in the last couple of movies that we have. We're not even counting the one with Miles Teller and all of that. Unfortunately, it's got Michael B. Jordan in it, but I will not watch that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, we get to see Johnny do that, you know, and be emotional and be hurt and be upset and kind of go, you know what, damn the world, I'm going to do something and I'm going to show them I'm not just some silly kid.
Yeah. And it's the point where even Ben's like, how he can't even comprehend the English language.
That moment was so funny.
I died.
He impresses them.
He impresses, like, you can see Reed's just like,
really?
In
he
awe.
did that?
And Sue just has like the smile on her face.
Yeah,
like, oh my God, that's
she's
my
so
brother.
proud.
Like, what?
I think it's like the first time they've probably witnessed Johnny do something like that. And I think that's such a nice moment for us as the audience to see that at the same time as them and kind of go, oh my God, because that's so brilliant.
Like, yes, we don't get much of like his ladies' madness or whatever, or his like bravado and stuff, but you see it sort of in that montage of him, like, and you know, you see all the magazine covers coming up, and he's like on the cover of some golf magazine, or on the cover of some, like, you know, he's got his shirt off, or he's got the billboard with the copper tone spray tan thing, and he's pretty much, you know, down
naked.
to his down to his underwear. Like, that's what the public perceives him as, but he's so much more than that.
He's
and
so
like,
much
we
more than
got
that.
it. We got it. We finally got it.
I really liked that.
I was just like, I couldn't believe the entire time. I was just like, yes.
And even at the end, we see that love for his family where when they're battling Galactus and he's like, tell Franklin his Uncle Johnny loves him.
Even
and
before
he's
that,
ready to...
Even before that, like after he confronts Charlotte Bull and he's like, I'll take me.
Oh yeah, take me.
Take me, don't take the child.
Yeah,
and she was like, it's not your sacrifice to make.
But then he again tries to, like, when he has to push him in, and Galactus sort of comes back. Yeah. And he's like, tell Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him, and he's going, and then Charlotte Bull sort of pushes him out of the way.
Yeah, because she has
essentially changed her mind.
And also, like, she respects him. Yep. And the sacrifice he is actually willing to make. And so she sacrifices herself.
So I just love that. And I think we need to come to Ben now.
Oh,
who is played by
cousin Evan Bacharach.
Oh,
come on.
I really love him in The Bear.
Oh,
as cousin Richie. He's so cool. And when he was announced to play Ben Grimm,
again, instantly I was like, yes.
I will be honest, I was a little bit like, oh,
really?
That's an interesting choice.
No,
yeah, because I honestly, before Bear, the only other thing I saw him in was Law and Order.
Okay, no. Oh, the thing before The Bear I saw him in was Punisher, and in that he's so completely different that I was like, not necessarily based off that, but based off Richie, I was like, this makes so much sense because Richie is a family man. Yeah. Richie loves his adopted family so much.
Exactly. And actually, there's a lot of similarities between Ben and Richie.
He's the heart. He holds his group together.
Yep.
And he's got all the sadness in him. But
I wish if I was to ever, oh my gosh, interview this cast. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Let's talk. Like, you know how I feel about this press junket.
True. But this would have been one of the questions I would have asked. Like, you know, looking at The Bear and Fantastic Four, do you think these are the similarities that you have between Ben and Richie? Because I
feel like someone did ask that.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed that question, but I can't remember what Evan said. But probably he's probably talked about this. But perfect. Yeah. Amazing. Like,
and how cute did Ben look?
Yes. Again, like they did the motion capture. Yeah.
I think they did a great job.
And I think he looked perfect.
I like that he's not as hulking to look at. Like, I feel like and again, that could just be a visual thing. Yeah. But the thing that I noticed was, and I thought it was just the 2000s one where he had 3 fingers. Yeah. But even in this, he had 3 fingers. So that must have been a thing. I never really
realized that until the 2005 movie. Yeah. I was like, oh. But yeah, I think it is like because he's supposed to be abnormal.
Yeah, true. So he would have. But I loved the little moments. Like he's so gentle in this, and I loved that. Yeah. That was something that was missing in the early one. I will say I did like Michael Chiklis. Yeah. I think it was good.
I think he was
Chris a different
Evans
Ben.
Were definitely the best
he was different Ben. This Ben was just so gentle.
This Ben again has had time to deal with everything that he's gone through.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
He's still sad about it, yes, because...
But I think he's made his peace with it.
But not even made his peace. He's just learning to live with the fact that this is him.
I like the fact that people are not scared of him.
Yes. That was my main takeaway from that, with him and everything. Like, the kids are so excited to see him. They want him to lift the car.
Yeah. And he plays around with them. And,
and like, even... So, Natasha Lyonne's character... which we had no idea about. Like, we knew she was in it. We didn't know who she was playing. To be honest, I thought she was going to be playing Alicia Masters. I don't know if we'll ever get her. But she's playing a character called Rachel Brosman, who is original. I don't think she's in the comics.
Okay, yeah. I've never heard of her. Yeah.
But yeah, even with her, he's almost like...
He's a bit shy. It's so sweet.
And like, he's just like this guy who doesn't even... Like, even though he's like technically famous and he's protected by having this public persona... he doesn't know how to talk to us.
No, he doesn't.
Like, he's like, black and white cookies, and he's like, cookies? Really? It's so good.
But I think it's such a nice little moment, because it's kind of like, and just before that, or is it just before that? No, after that, we do see him sort of looking at his picture in the television, where he's so handsome.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
the
Stunning.
reflection of his face, and he's gone all like rocky. And you can tell that it hits him, that I'm not the same man that I was.
Yeah.
And I love that little moment. It's such a small little hint, but you really feel it so deep.
Yeah.
I teared up in that moment.
Same.
I
really cried through the whole thing, to be honest. But
I teared up in moments, and that was one of the moments that I teared up in. And because you really, like, in this day and age where there's such an emphasis on physical appearance, I think that was such a nice little moment where they didn't dwell on it too much.
Yeah.
In fact, that's really the only time we dwell on it. But you feel this sense of, because before this you find Ben in these really funny, humorous moments. Like, there's a lot of humor with Ben.
Yeah.
Especially with the Herbie bit where he's putting he's baby proofing the house, and Ben keeps falling into the trap.
Okay.
That, and like, there's moments where he's quite humorous.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you really see the gravity of what he has been through.
Yeah.
He has lost not just his looks, he's lost a lot of himself.
Yeah.
And that shyness that comes across with women, he probably was not that shy.
Yeah, probably not.
When he was, he was a hotshot pilot.
Yeah, come on.
Who looked like that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
There'd be women falling all over themselves getting in line.
Yeah. Especially at that time.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can just imagine, I mean, we obviously don't know what he would have been like, but
yeah,
you can just imagine that maybe he wasn't that shy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had an issue with talking to her.
Oh my God, you know what just came in my head? That song, I don't want no flag. I just want a shy guy. That's Ben's song now.
And
Confirmed.
that is Diana
and
King.
a king. Yeah.
Great song. Great song from the 90s.
From the 90s, yes. But no, it's true. And like, as we were saying, his sadness comes through, but it's also really good to see him just be himself in certain situations too. Like, even when he's like at home, and there's that great scene with him and Reed that I really love.
Where they're standing in front of the window. Yeah, yeah.
And it's just before they go up.
Yeah.
And, Reed is like feeling the guilt about still 4 years later, he still feels it. Like,
yeah.
It was my mission. It was my mission.
Yeah.
Like, he says it in the montage, like, causality caused by, entirely on my fault. And Sue was like, no, stop. Like,
Yeah.
But even in this moment with Ben, he's like, it happened because of me. He's like, hey, I don't blame you for this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the exact wording, but he goes, it's a stretch. You're not that smart. And they have that whole back and forth. Like, it's
where he mentions the driver's test.
Mentions the driver's test, which is actually from the comics. I was like, honestly, throughout this whole thing, I was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like pointing. That was me. I was like, that's what the comics.
That's funny.
But no, like, they're shorthand with each other. Like, it really just tells you their relationship. And that he can be so... So, something interesting that Joseph said was like, they were like, oh, how did you act with Evan with him being in the fractal suit? Wasn't it, like, strange or anything? Like, strangely, like, weirdly enough, it was perfectly normal because we were looking at him as Evan, therefore as Ben.
Yeah.
And we didn't ever see him as the
See
thing.
as
They
a
never
thing,
showed
yeah.
us any concept art. They never showed us any like renderings, nothing.
Yeah.
So we only ever saw him as Eben, despite being in the suit.
Yeah.
So we treat him as Ben.
Yeah.
You know, and they only ever treat him as Ben.
As Ben. Yeah, that's true.
And I think that is stunning.
Yeah.
Because as we've seen in the past, like Johnny makes fun of like his appearance and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like, yes, he's making fun, but like it always felt really, it felt hurtful.
Yeah.
It did. Like
It was, yeah.
it wasn't just a joke about him being like Pebbles or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like he calls him Pebbles at one point,
True.
which is kind of funny.
It's kind of
But
funny.
then like other stuff is like really, I can't remember specifics now, but like it just never sat well
Yeah.
with me. Whereas in
You
this,
felt bad every time
Yeah.
Ben felt bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas in this, it's very much like there is a respect between Ben and Johnny.
Definitely.
Like you
don't feel that in the other.
themselves make fun of everybody else.
Right?
Like when
Yeah.
he's talking on the ship, they were just like
That moment
he's
really
like, look,
cute.
if he's a really big guy, you can just punch him. And then
They're like, yay!
so good. It was so
There's
good.
a camaraderie between them. Yeah,
between them.
I really
and I
like
just
that.
loved that. So they
Yeah.
never treat Ben as anything else.
Yeah.
They never treat him as the thing.
And I
and
like
I love
Ben's
it.
relationship with Sue.
Yeah.
I really
That is one of the
loved
things.
that relationship because he calls her Susie.
Susie.
And he's just like this protective big brother
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
You know, which is nice because she's the protective older sister.
Yeah.
You know? And I really like that little relationship.
Yeah.
And
Like even when he's like, are you pregnant?
yeah.
And she's like, how did you know that? He's like, have you looked at your husband's face? She's like, I know, he cannot keep a secret. It's
I like
so
the moment
good.
like she hugs him first,
Yeah.
like before anybody
Like, how
else.
did
Like
you know?
I
And
really
she
love
points
that.
at her. She's like, how did you know
Yeah.
that? Like, it's so good.
I really like that, and I really liked Ben as a character in this
Yeah.
because he, as you said, it was Ben.
Yeah.
It was not the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I really, really like that, and I
Yeah.
think this
he
is
was,
where
again, he was only ever the thing when he needed to be in battle
yeah.
to lift the heavy stuff. To
Speaking
punch
of
through
battle,
walls.
the final battle.
Oh, the final battle.
This is where so the final. I have to say, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was great. We really get to see everyone's powers in this really well. Sue, of course, you know, basically sacrifices herself for her kid.
Oh, Jesus.
And that moment with Franklin and the little bassinet or whatever it is, and Herbie. They basically do a bait and switch on Galactus, but Galactus is too smart for
obviously.
them. And he finds the baby. And that moment is so funny and terrifying.
It's terrifying because he smashes through. After the things have come down, he smashes through and he grabs Franklin.
Yeah.
But just before that, before the shields go down, Herbie is singing a lullaby to Franklin.
It's so cute.
And like making shapes with his robot hands. And he's like, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. So funny. And I was just like, this is so
And then
cute.
when
And like,
Galactus grabs him, he screams.
he screams and he goes fly. Did you not see him fly off out of frame?
I
was like, this is terrifying, but
No,
that
he
just
doesn't
took
scream.
me out.
He does. What does he do? He does like a funny sound. He makes a very like terrified sound. It was
But he
so
just
funny.
like goes flying out of the frame. I was like, this is.
It was hilarious. I loved that.
It was just so cute.
But I loved
it became terrifying.
Yeah, I loved the fact that like you really feel how menacing that moment is, because I think we were watching another video and they mentioned that. I think it was Real Rejects.
Yeah, Real Rejects.
Yeah, they mentioned it that the baby was terrified
The
as
baby
well.
was terrified. The baby was screaming his
And
head off.
to be honest, before they mentioned it, I didn't really realize it.
Yeah.
But then they mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
The baby was crying.
The baby
constantly.
was crying. The baby was actually scared.
He was so scared.
It wasn't like, you know, those cutesy moments where, you know, the baby's with the villain and then he's like, oh, you're cute, blah, 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 blah. And the villain's just like, okay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the moment. The moment was terrifying for the baby. You know? And the cries sort of generate that worry in Sue, but also everybody else.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, pushing
The thing is, before that, when they notice that he's going for Franklin, like, Reed is literally on the building stretching and, like, trying to get there. And Sue is in the Fantastica on the ground. Yeah. Zipping and sliding and everything. And I just love that because they cannot get there fast enough. Like, it was just, like, I was like, oh my God. Like, my heart was thumping so hard. And then she goes flying into the building. Yeah. And then she comes out and then she sees that Franklin is, you know, in Galactus's hand.
And he's just crying.
She starts pushing. Yeah. And I love the bit where, so Reed has just been stretched to its absolute limit, which freaked me the hell out. I was like, what is happening?
That was so weird.
But
it was interesting to see that.
Yeah. And like his suit actually ripping, because like that suit is designed to extend with him. So you have to really like pull him to his limits.
And it's a really interesting visual choice as well, because he's clearly not stretching from his own.
No, he's being forced.
He's being forced to do that. You know?
And he's fallen on the floor, and like all of them are like scattered and everything. And she's pushing Galactus like further and further, and like he gets up, and he's like, Sue, stop! But then she says, get our son. Because he has also not realized that Galactus is has holding Franklin in his head. And then that's when he's like, oh my God, yeah. Like, and them as parents in that moment.
So good.
I was like, there is nothing these two will not do. Right? It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect to see them that way.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, Sue dies. And that moment is like...
Because she's pushed him through the portal.
Yeah, and she's basically drained the life out of herself.
Yeah.
Doing that. And
in this time, like, Shellabelle has pushed him in, and they've both gone through the portal. Yeah.
And so we get to the point where she's lying there, and oh my God, this took me out a little bit. I will be honest. I am a big stickler for CPR.
I know you are, because you've done CPR training.
And not that I've never done it on a live person. Yeah. And I don't ever want to do it on a live person because it's a terrifying thing to do. Yeah. But whenever I see CPR on television or film, like obviously you can't do CPR on a live person. You're going to break their rib cage. It doesn't work. But the thing is, you can make it look real. At least put your hand in the right position. Yeah. Pedro Pascal.
Not Pedro Pascal. Reed Richards, thank you.
Richards. Put your hand in the right position.
You're the smartest man in the world. You don't have to do CPR.
Oh my gosh. It was in the wrong position and it drove me nuts. Oh my goodness. It took me out. But then I very much came back into the whole thing when Franklin starts crying.
The thing is, like, you're kind of like, oh, she's fine. Like, she'll be fine.
She'll wake
up.
Come on. She's going to wake up.
For that split second when she didn't, and he stopped compressions, and he kissed her on her lips, and he's crying, and I was like, did they just kill Vanessa? I was like, what? Excuse me. And the baby is reaching for her and crying.
That was I was out. I was like,
thing. I can't do this.
That was my Bollywood movie moment, like first, old Hindi movie moment.
Jackman, what the hell did you do? What's happening right now?
And then I was like,
oh wait, Franklin, most powerful being on the universe. And she
wakes up.
He puts Franklin on her, and she wakes up. And the thing is, she wakes up
with her eyes going.
That is the power cosmic in her because he's revived her.
Yeah,
without even knowing. Like, yes, he claps like Mummy's awake, but like, which is so adorable, by the way. But it's also like he has not realized.
Doesn't even know what he's done.
He's just a baby,
and the others obviously don't know anything because this is the first time his powers have actually shown up. And that's when she wakes up and she goes, he's not like us.
He's not like us. He's more.
Yeah, he's more. And we get that confirmation that Franklin is going to be a powerful being. Yeah. But he's just a baby. He's such a sweet baby. He was such a cute baby.
And I just love that moment in the end because, like, even Johnny is just, like, distraught completely that his sister is lying there, like, she's not waking up. Yeah. She's dead.
Can I be... We didn't mention this when we talked about Ben, but Ben carrying the baby.
Oh my God, so cute.
So cute.
And yes, the baby is CGI when Ben is carrying him, but like, come on.
It's fine.
Who cares?
It's fine.
They
Whatever.
use real babies for the majority of it, by the way.
They
Like,
can't have a baby floating.
Vanessa Kirby was like, no, they were real babies.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
They were
good.
real babies.
And they were real babies. She's like, oh, there was one baby who was really beautiful. I was like, that's so cute.
That's cute.
She's like, we had lots of little babies around.
Lots of little babies.
I was like, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. But yeah,
funny.
like even Johnny just being like, and I schooled someone on Twitter because he was like, that looked so weird. Like his eyes were completely red.
Oh, yeah,
and like, all this.
yeah.
I was like, well, Johnny can't produce teardrops. So
Because he's literally fire.
that's literally a side effect of his powers. He can't actually do that.
True.
So
Did anyone respond to that?
no.
Oh, damn
Kind
it.
of pissed off. I was like, I made a good point, everybody. But no.
So that's kind of how it ends.
Yeah.
With
Well,
her
it ends with
waking
they
up.
have their reappearance at Ted Gilbert
Yes.
a year later.
I loved that.
And like he's like, oh, here's this onesie that's like Fantastic Five, like with a 5 on it for Franklin. They're like, nope. No, too early for that. No, they're like, they're just a baby. It's too much.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
But
And
the
then-
little bit with the car seat was so
oh my
funny.
god, yeah, because their little alerts go off.
It's so funny.
I was like,
it's-
3 really smart. One being the smartest man in the universe.
Can't get a car seat in.
They can't get a like. It was literally like 3 men and a baby.
It was so cute. I loved
I
it.
was like, it was the best thing I've ever seen. How many scientists does it take to install a car seat?
Apparently 3.
3.
Okay, so speaking
So
of
good.
the I think it was brilliant. I think it was such a
brilliant.
fun movie.
I loved this.
I
so
loved
much.
the movie. I mean, we loved it so much we went and saw it twice consecutively. Honestly, I could go again.
Yeah.
I could definitely go again.
Probably mentioned a few things that we didn't. But like,
Yes,
yeah.
there are a couple of things that I think are negatives. You go, because you had a few.
I mean, not so much negatives, but I'm just like,
Could have been better.
could have been better. I mean, we have now since discovered that there's quite a bit missing.
We felt
in terms
it.
of, and I didn't
A little
feel
bit.
it the first time at all.
But
I really
you
didn't feel-
noticed
But I
things.
noticed I was like, oh, there wasn't really that scene with so and so with this, and then I was like, oh, there was quite a bit that wasn't there.
There was stuff in the trailers that we saw that
Yeah.
wasn't in
But
the...
the thing is, I'm on two sides of this. So at one side, I'm like, I wish there was more. I wish there was maybe like at least another 15 minutes, because when the runtimes first went up on all the cinema websites and everything, it was 2 hours and 10 minutes. Then we all realized that they've changed it to 1 hour and 55. So like, oh, we're losing 15 minutes. Okay, let's, whatever. So I think that was very much in that second act part where they're going through the plan of like, having to shift the earth and like all this stuff. And that plan doesn't work because Shellable comes and ruins all the bridges. And then they make the plan that we have to use Franklin.
Yeah.
So I think what's missing is pretty much in there, because then it probably would have extended it so much that it would have dragged a little bit more.
Yeah.
'Cause I did feel that bit dragged slightly, very, very slightly. So I feel like anything additional was probably in there. But there was stuff that I was really looking forward to from the trailers, that it was like there was that scene between Ben and Sue. where
Yeah,
they
we
were
see them sitting.
They're sitting and
Yeah.
she's just wearing track bands and he's just, in his normal clothes too. And we don't get the context of that scene, but everyone was like, oh, we'll get a scene with them, because
That would have been nice to see.
it would have, of just them.
Just the two of them, yeah.
Would have been really nice to see. And then we had stuff like, Reed saying when we went up the first time, you didn't have this, and Johnny wasn't like this, Ben wasn't like this. And then there was a lot of stuff actually that had to do with, not a lot of stuff, but there was a scene or two to do with Paul Walterhauser's character.
Yes.
Because he was playing Mole Man. And what a great Mole Man, I gotta say.
Yeah.
He really, I was like, oh, I wish we had one more scene with him.
He seemed to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. He was so animated and he really got into like
The character? Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're having fun with this, and I can tell. Like the bit where Sue's like, I've got a plan that you're not gonna like, and she brings him to the Baxter building. And all the men absolutely hate him, especially Reed. He's like, listen here, mole man, you touch another one of my experiments again. And then like they're all leaving, and he goes to Johnny, don't worry, it's not like I dressed you. And Johnny's just like ready to fight him, like, you know, all this stuff. But it turns, and he turns to Sue, and he's like, so what do you need? Like, he respects her,
Sue, yeah.
You know, and like...
Oh, we kind of see that here when he says, I will only talk to Sue.
I will only talk to Sue. Yeah, I'll only talk to her. Yeah. Not talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, unless you butter me up.
Yeah.
He says. So funny. But we know that Vanessa Kirby in the press has been like, oh, there was a scene where Sue actually goes down into Subterranean and they have a drink together. Like, she's pregnant, so he pours her water. But they have a bit of a back and forth rapport about it. And apparently she even says, which is something that Sue can do in the comics, which is like, you know, I could give you an aneurysm if I wanted to.
Who says?
Sue says it to Mole Man. Because he gets a little, it's a bit of a like tough situation. Yeah. Vanessa didn't go into it obviously because it wouldn't be a spoiler, but she's like, she says that to him. So
they removed that bit.
Yeah. Which is really interesting because that is something that is a power thing that she has. And I just think it would have been interesting to see, because then it's again that thing of like the malice side of
her. True.
You know? But yeah, so there were just like certain things. I feel like we were meant to have more with Ben and Natasha Lyonne's character.
Yes, I would have liked to see a bit more of that, because they did kind of like
leave it at
out.
The synagogue.
Yeah,
and then that was it. But
and then we never got to see.
The scene was beautiful though, and I really did loved seeing Ben Grimm in a synagogue.
Yes, that was
very special
to acknowledge that. I think that was really nice.
But yeah, I feel like we're meant to get more with him, and her. And then even like John Malkovich's character was completely... Yeah. He was playing Red Ghost. I feel like maybe he did have a bigger part, but then they had to remove some stuff, and then they just put the apes in the montage at the start. And he is in that cartoon at the very end.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's just a few little things like that we would have benefited from, yes, but honestly, I'm not upset at the runtime. Now that I think about it, because even Matt, he's so happy with this product.
Yeah.
That, you know, people online are like, oh, release the Shackman cut and like all this stuff. I'm like, well, no, because
I think it's fine the way it is.
It's perfect the way it is. And he is so happy with it and proud of it. And like, we should acknowledge this project the way it is, and appreciate it for what it is, because it's stunning. It's amazing. This is something that I, as a Fantastic Four fan for so long, literally I was 5 years old when I started watching this, the animated series, as we said at the start.
Yeah.
I never thought that we could get something so like insanely perfect. It's perfect to me. Like, the only reason I would say it's not, you know, anything less is just because of some things that are missing that we could have really like benefited from. But I understand why we don't have it. Like, we had to keep it at a certain length, and it's amazing. I love it. I really love it. I love the cast. I think honestly everybody owes an apology to Pedro and Joseph. I truly firmly believe that, because they are both perfect.
I think so too. I think Pedro Pascal Vanessa did such an amazing job.
Exceeded any, like, I knew she would be perfect, but she exceeded even that to me. And Eben as Ben is just perfect.
I think just them as the characters as the four. I think they did an excellent job with the marketing of the film. Oh my god,
the marketing of the film
has been so consistent and so good. You know, with the, what did you mention? You always used to
every Sunday at 7?
The Sunday dinner.
On the dot, no matter what.
So like, just, you know, things like that, you know, just to kind of reinforce
like all the images, the posters and the magazine covers and the videos, and like,
I think they kind of, it's almost like you're building the world before we even get to see it.
And you know, on the Fantastic Four page, like, they were promoting it like all the stuff that came before, like as like them presenting it like as the movie, but then they changed it to it being in world. And it was like this magazine cover with Reed Richards and this magazine cover with Sue Storm, and I was like, this is insane.
It's
so good. like with the suits and the Mirage gloves and like all
it's so good. I loved it.
It was so perfect.
Yeah.
It was so perfect. Like literally,
what was Ben's ad?
Ben's ad was some lotion or something.
Oh
yeah,
skincare.
Some kinky skincare thing.
That's so funny.
It was so funny, and I think Johnny's was like some cologne or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
it was like heat
cologne or something, whatever. But like just brilliant. The entire thing was fantastic. The way they handled it.
It was really good.
But I wish they had handled the whole press junket a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
well, you
I
can't
truly,
get everything.
I mean, you can't get everything, but I truly think they should have skipped Australia entirely.
Oh, well.
Because that just killed them. That killed them by the time they got to LA.
I can imagine.
All
right, now, if we were to think of, obviously the mid-credit scene, we get to see the introduction of Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
We don't get to see his face.
No, because it's literally just Sue reading to Franklin, and then she walks out to get another book, and she comes back. She senses something and she puts her force field out, and then it's Doom standing in front of Franklin showing him his face,
and we get to see,
and we see the mask in his left hand, but we don't see his face,
and we get to see a bit of a hint of Von Doom as well, because there's a scene in the movie where she's at the Future Foundation and she's like talking,
and Latveria's
seat is empty. So that's kind of like a first little hint. And then of course we get this. So clearly, obviously, everyone knows that Doom's coming back. They're filming Avengers.
It's interesting that it's
as
happened within the movie too, because it's like, is this Doom from this universe?
That's the question.
Because I've been under the impression that that's not the case up until now.
Yeah. I heard this really interesting theory. Now, I don't know how good of a theory this is, but, it's one of those things that's been floating around on Reddit and TikTok and all of that. But I thought, okay, some merit to it, maybe? I don't know. I'm not familiar with it from the comic book, so I don't know. So the theory is that when Tony and Cap go back in Endgame to get the Pym particles and Tony meets his father. And this is what I want to watch the film again and confirm. He's confused about the date of his birth, and he's a little bit like, okay. And so someone was like, well, does that mean that Tony's not actually their son? Is he adopted? Is he because someone was like, even the wording of when Tony's watching the video of Howard and he's like, you are my greatest creation, not my son. Is there some kind of a hint there that Tony's actually related to Von Doom somehow?
No, I think because Howard is so technical. Kind of like Reed in that way.
Yeah, I kind of...
he would say creation.
I kind of look at it that way as well. But I thought, okay, that's kind of an interesting one.
Maybe.
I don't necessarily think that's correct, but it was an interesting little theory that, perhaps Tony was adopted by the Starks and he is somehow related to Doom. That would explain a lot of things, to be very honest, because at this point, I don't know how they're going to explain the fact that he's going to look like... Then someone else kind of had this, and I don't know how true this is because I haven't really looked into a lot of the Avengers Doomsday stuff. But apparently there's going to be 2 teams, so perhaps Doom is gonna try and use his face, the fact that he looks like Tony Stark, to kind of get one group of people towards his side and the other one don't trust him.
I mean, maybe.
So I don't know. I really don't know.
But honestly, none of that even really concerns me. Now it's just that thing of how are they going to use Franklin? Because is it that they are going to use him because basically Doom in Secret Wars, there's been some incursion events and then he basically starts ending all these worlds and makes Battle World, which is his throne, and becomes Emperor Doom, basically. So is he going to use Franklin to do that?
Perhaps. And Franklin's still a child, so he doesn't actually know what he's doing. But he knows how to do it. And
will it open? I can imagine it. I feel now with the end credit being this, that maybe Doomsday opens with Reed and Sue and everybody going, Franklin's gone, we have to go find him.
Well, we see that little end credit scene in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Where we
They're
see
trying
the
to find
Excelsior coming through. So maybe that's what it is. So there's a lot of questions there. I actually, to be very honest, I would like to be surprised.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to dig in too much.
I don't want to dig in too much, and I've already been like kind of just frustrated with this whole Doomsday thing.
Yeah, and also like I'll be honest. Let's be honest. After Endgame, things have just not been the same with Marvel, and this was a really lovely little surprise.
And I'm so glad it was not connected to anything.
Yes, I like that it's standalone. And honestly, before this, Thunderbolts was a nice little surprise as well. I really enjoyed it.
I really liked it.
And so I really just want to be surprised by Doomsday.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I think from now until when Doomsday comes out, there's nothing coming out.
I think, no, actually they've changed. It's Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be coming out in July.
Next year.
Yeah, July.
Yeah, but it's a year now.
It's a year, yeah.
Before we get anything.
But the thing is, it was meant to be Doomsday was going to come out in May next year.
Yeah, but I'm glad we're not getting that now.
They shifted that to December, and so...
Yeah, so I'm actually really glad because we had that interview with Kevin Feige where he admitted that I think there was a calculation of how many hours were produced of Marvel content between the start of the Infinity Saga and at the end of the Infinity, like between the Infinity Saga and today. And it was way more content now than when the Infinity Saga was going on.
Jeez. So you mean at the end of the Infinity Saga till now is what you mean?
Yeah. Like all the Disney content and everything is way more hours. Right. Someone put the calculation out than the films. And I think Feige mentions in the interview that was too much. He admitted it. And so I'm glad that they're actually acknowledging that. I'm glad that they're actually pulling back from their, constant bombardment of content. Because let's face it, that became content.
Yeah.
It wasn't actual valuable storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm happy that there's this big break coming. Yeah. And
now we just got to enjoy this for what it was.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm so glad that this exists now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus so I can watch it again.
Oh, we finally did it. We finally got there. I'm so happy.
I just really enjoyed this movie. I'm so happy that this turned out the way it did. And if you love this film, and you're like, why is everyone criticizing it? There are a lot of people who are criticizing it. But you know what? That's their opinion. That's fine.
It is.
If you love it, you'll love it.
Understand it to the extent of the people who know it and love it.
Yeah, and look, there are people who have been huge fans of it who have not necessarily liked it, and that's okay as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's opinions are valid. Yeah, I think.
But I'm just talking in terms of like people who actually don't know anything about it. And still didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Fine, whatever. But you don't...
It is what it is.
You don't know what it means to people.
Exactly. This means a lot to a lot of people.
This is foundational. They are foundational. They are the reason that everything else exists in Marvel. Yeah. So I'm really hoping they got the respect that they needed.
Yeah, I really hope this is a nice turning point for Marvel, for the studios. Just like the original comics were created to save Marvel's butt. Marvel Comics. I'm hoping that this will do the same as well. It's been a bit of a cursed project. Yeah. So hopefully this will be a bit of a turning point for them. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. This is our first episode. Technically this is our second episode. We did record for Jurassic World, but
felt like the more natural.
Yeah, so that episode will come later on. Yeah. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please follow us on our socials. Follow us, subscribe if this is on YouTube. If you're on a podcast platform, please follow us on there as well, so you don't miss an episode. And it was really fun doing this, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Fantastic Four in cinemas now. Go watch it.
Bye.